Good morning. Oh my gosh, it's bubbling. It was bubbling. It was bubbling. It's been a minute, but the bubble was there. And this morning, I'm like, okay, you get the coffee, get in the car. We've got to talk to our gray curious friends. Good morning. Oh my gosh, it's already hot in here. There is a theme. I don't know who needs to hear this but it's your path. This could be maybe my most controversial video I've ever done in my entire life. And it's just so funny, but it really is about your path. I want to talk about your path. It's like the theme that keeps coming up, and it makes me think of that. I think it's the Marines that do this is my path. It looks like other paths, but this path is mine. My path is my best friend. My path is my life, or something along that line. But it is your path. And the theme that just keeps coming up is this analogy of it's not going to work for everybody. I know I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when I talk about it, but the analogy I was giving a few times this week is about washing dishes. And this is, I don't know. It's like those little things that are everyday items like laundry, dishes, and taxes and death. You know what I mean? The things that you just have that you cannot escape from. And doing the dishes it has been such a touchy subject pretty much all of my dating life. I don't know if anybody else has had this situation, but if you have, I would love to hear it in the comments. But essentially, I dated a guy for a while, and he loved hand washing dishes. Loved it. He had like a whole meditative experience when he was washing the dishes. He thought it was really good for the environment. He had a lot of passion about hand washing dishes, and which is fine. It's fine. And if you are one of those people that love to hand wash dishes, and you're going to please put in the comments all the environmental reasons why it's better to hand wash your dishes, all of that stuff. The problem comes in when he wanted me to have the same passion for hand washing dishes. And that's never going to happen. In my mindset, I went to college, so I didn't have to hand wash my fucking dishes. And I'm going to use the dishwasher. It's perfectly good. I will do it on the energy saving times. And I will make sure that it is loaded properly, that the dishes are washed even before they go in there, and that it is a full load so that I am maximizing the time, space, and energy when I do it. But I am never, ever, 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 ever going to have the passion of hand washing dishes. In my mindset, it's like there's nothing that bothers me more than pulling out a dish and there's a piece of food on it. And in my head, I'm like, oh, that was the hand wash dish. I don't want that. Nobody needs that. We need peace in our life. Nobody needs to have the reoccurring argument over and over and over again about how you wash the dishes. Are the dishes clean? If they're clean, we don't have a fucking problem, right? Everybody's happy. There's plenty of dishes for everybody, and everybody can, enjoy their clean dish experience. But it's just not, you cannot force somebody to like your way. And that is really essentially what, that keeps bubbling up, is that everything, a total cliche, but the only thing that is ever constant is change. So if you aren't allowing for that, then you're going to have an issue. You're going to get stuck in wherever it is. And if that's your thing, then that's fine. But you can't ask everybody else to be stuck in that same thing. When you are asking somebody to only see their way, then it becomes more about, it's really not about the dishes, is it? Because when you're holding on to them about how they're doing something, then that becomes a power thing and an ego thing. So, and this pattern is something that you can literally pick it up and apply it to a million different situations in your life. But essentially, when you start feeling that it isn't about the dishes, essentially, then it's like you only have a couple choices at that point. You can either politely try to explain why you do your dishes that way, and if they get it and they can respect it and we can move forward with the dishes being clean, great. If they don't, then you're going to need to make that choice of decision of whether or not that's going to work, whether it's a relationship or a friendship or whatever. And as we age and we go through this midlife crisis, we start realizing that, I mean, at least for me, it's like, you got to have some more shit going on, because when you don't have a lot of shit going on, I think there's like a lot of empty nesting that goes on and all this shit. You start picking on the way somebody's doing the dishes rather than, okay, great, there's dishes because I have 18 other things going on, and oh my gosh, how great I can be thankful that there is a clean dish in the cabinet. Do you see what I'm saying? There's what they say, it's like when times are really good is when people get crazy because they don't have any adversities, so they can't be focused on something. So it's kind of like that surviving to thriving kind of. How dare you have shit going on? It's like this how dare you choose to do this gray hair, and how dare you have it look good? How dare you decide to do your dishes a different way? How dare you? It's like the audacity of you to get out of the shadow of whatever, family history that you have, or how dare you actually take up space? How dare you be happy? How dare you be grateful for the little shit that you have? And how dare you have some boundaries and some self-respect, not letting someone tell you how to do your dishes. It's like, instead of being in a reactive thing of, oh my gosh, maybe I should do my dishes like that. It's like, are the dishes clean? Is it true? Who's giving you that feedback on these dishes? I know it's like so silly, but just feel like it's coming up over and over and over again. This unsolicited advice on how people think you should be or how you should do. And I'm here to tell you, fuck all of that. Fuck it all, okay? This is your path, okay? If you don't take ownership of it, somebody's going to drive it for you, and then you're going to be resentful as hell. So you can be soft and strong at the same time. And if they're not responsive to it, then it's your choice, because it's on you. If you take the abuse, you take, whatever it is, and dim your light, basically, is what they want you to do, because people don't want you to shine. It's so wrong, and I wish that it really wasn't this way, but unfortunately it is a lot of times, not all the time. And that's the key, is you find the people that have the capacity to be neutral, that create a safe space for you to give you a mirrored feedback of what you're seeing on a neutral playing field, without an agenda, without any intent or bad intentions. And the only way that you can find a safe space is that you have to learn yourself, going back to that. And you do that, it's okay. A lot of times I feel like as we start doing this gray hair, it kind of triggers some of that midlife stuff, because that's where we are. And so it's okay to start over. I mean, I think a lot of times you think, oh my God, I can't double down on this, or I'm having these thoughts and I'm pushing it and pushing it and pushing it away. Listen, you can push all of that shit away. You can push, all these things that you kind of maybe think that you want to change up in your life in this thing. It will manifest itself in other ways. It will come out physically some way. You will have, IBS, you will have, some kind of thyroid thing. I mean, there's a million different ways our bodies are made to be in alignment and in tune. That's where we are the most efficient as our little human beings, as being, in my opinion, a conduit for whatever that wants to come through at whatever times. So if you are not able to organize yourself to create a grounding center in your path, then you are going to be able to be lured as people, you're not going to be, as I like to say, the downstream effort. You're not in your boat going downstream, picking the stuff that's along the side that you can carry with you that is valuing you and you valuing it. It's like a symbiotic relationship, and then together you're adding more value to other people. When other people see that especially I feel like in midlife, you know, a lot of times we as moms, we spend a lot of time raising our kids, and we have a lot of identity wrapped in that. A lot of identity. A lot of us do, because it's, again, a safe space. So it's much easier to hide behind something and judge someone when you don't have to actually be held accountable for, you know, their life, their bills, their, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, what's that quote? It's like, it's easier to judge, it's easier to judge. That's why people don't think, or something. It's something about that. It's just harder to look at a bigger picture and give people the benefit of the doubt, because judging is easier and it makes you feel more superior. And it's just so silly. It is such human nature, yet, and we know it, and yet when it presents itself, it's still difficult, right? You know, it's like, people are like, oh, you know, going back to the whole gray hair, it's just gray hair, but it's still, you know, there are moments where you're like, oh my gosh, you know, this is kind of a big deal. Like, people do push against it. Like, I've had, you know, friends that literally have seen my YouTube, have seen all the stuff that I've been doing to help promote gray hair, and then tell me that, you know, I think you need to color your hair. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you don't even, like, thank you for telling me that you don't belong in my circle, because that's not even anything. Why does it even affect you? Why would you even, I don't even know where the comment comes from, especially like after you've done this, you know, you kind of get to the point where you're like, I don't even see why anyone would really even have an opinion on somebody else's stuff, unless there was something not working, like the dishes aren't clean. And if the dishes aren't clean, yeah, then maybe we should evaluate why your dishes aren't clean, and then we can figure out, maybe we can tweak a few things so that they are a little bit cleaner. But if they're clean, why the hell do you care if somebody has gray hair? It's because you are reflecting back to them something that they're not willing to see. And so that's their choice, right? So I guess to wrap all of this up is that it's okay to have your own path, okay? And to commit to it, whatever it is. I think that's the key, is committing to that path, and then allowing that lag time to produce the results that will help generate more, I guess, motivation, because you need action to create the motivation, right? And then, but you also have to respect the lag time. I think that a lot of times we live in that, you know, Amazon can deliver something. I mean, hell, they'll deliver it the same day if you order it like 6 in the morning, like right now. But so to respect that lag time that happens, you know, when you're growing your hair out, you know, you gain so much from that. It's like learning any kind of skill, even like guitar or piano or something like that. When you see somebody that can play well, you understand that that's not like, you can't just fake that. You know, when you're letting your hair grow out, that was like a whole process. People see that. Again, some people are going to be like, oh, don't do it this way. Don't do it this way. You need to do, again, how you wash your dishes. I don't care how you get there. Cut it, pixie, whatever, floats your boat. But just be, I guess, it's a warning, I guess, that people are going to be mad about you enjoying your life and living your best life. And it's it's a lot of times when I see that happening, I want to give that person, it's like you want to give that person that. It's like, you know, you feel like, how can I be so happy with just, I don't know, not having to color my hair, and this person, you know, might have all this stuff, and they're looking at you with your gray hair like you have it all. And it's like, no, I'm not, you know, I'm just saving some money by not doing my hair, and now it's growing back in. You know, they're going to look at you like, you know, you've done something wrong, because you're reflecting back to them that we're all aging, you know, instead of looking at it like, hey, let's enjoy this part of our timeline. They're looking at it like, oh, I don't like how they're doing it. I don't like how they're choosing to age. You know, this is how you should do it. And it's like, you know, I don't know. I have no idea what to tell you, but I just want you to know that you have to accept that in yourself, so that you are able to have the capacity and the felt perception of what that feels like. Because until you can feel yourself giving that acceptance and that love and that lag time and that freedom and that patience, until you can truly give that self to yourself, you're never going to be able to give it to somebody else. And that's when people are like, you got to love yourself before you love other people. It's not really loving yourself. It's accepting all that shit that you don't really want to admit, that you're struggling with, or you're lifing, basically, that you're lifing. So if you want to pretend like you don't life, then you're never going to let anybody else life. And then you're going to be judging on everything, which is terrible, because then, you're not even going to be living in any reality. Nobody's reality. It'll be a lost, and then you will either live there in oblivia, or you're going to really wake up, after your midlife and be really depressed and upset that you wasted so much time, because that's really all we have is time. I mean, time is more important than money. I mean, you can't get it. You can make more money, but we cannot make more time. And that's why time, safe relationships, people that support you and your path, no matter what it looks like, that they want to invest in you being better and being part of your path, in supporting your growth and what that looks like for you, not what it looks like for them. Wrap all this stuff up is be strong, be soft. It's okay if it doesn't look, if it's messy. Have you ever cleaned out your closet? A lot of times you got to pull all that shit out and it looks really messy, but then when you put it all back in, it's much better. Okay, my daughter is very into lashing. She's like, my lashes are lashing, so let's make your flow flowing. You know what I mean? Let's make it go great without too many rapids. I guess rapids are good because they're fun, right? They give you feedback and contrast, which also helps direct your desire, because I don't think that you can really have a full organic control over your desire. I think a lot of that just kind of comes. And so I think it's important to direct it in a positive direction. I mean, if you can. So again, let's say it all together. This is my path. It might look like other paths, but this path is mine. My path is my best friend, and it is my life. Okay? That's your theme. You do your dishes the way you want to do your dishes. Okay? So this was a total morning rant, because it literally woke me up and was like, you need to do something about it. You need to say something. And it's sparking my kind of revamp of my desire to get back in this. So just so you guys know, I did fall in love with a new job. And so I have been building a team, and now the team is pretty much there. And so now I will be trying to come back more to this and kind of change a few little things up. I'm going to I don't know. I got some things going. Mac is coming. That will be the next video. We are setting up some times and dates, and he is my neighbor. He is a makeup artist and a hair salon guy. And so he is going to give me a makeover, which is awesome. And he's going to do my final cut. I just have a tiny little bit. Sorry, my hair this was not really a hair video. This was like a morning rant video, which will make it even better, because he's going to do my final little cut, and he's also going to give me 2 makeup looks. So I'm going to have him come in. He's going to come and he's going to look at my makeup. He's going to, because I am not a makeup girl, but I do want to have a basic everyday look that's kind of fast. And then I would love to, because of my old ass eyes, I want a couple of kind of go out looks that are age appropriate and kind of fun, and kind of maybe incorporate some new colors with my hair, because my hair was so dark. I feel like my palettes that I have now, all of them don't really work that great, and I want to add some, but I'm not a huge makeup person. So that's why I'm like, I want to get a palette that I don't know, it goes back to that hair thing, how you used to dye your hair so you got the most out of it. So I want to get a palette or a couple palettes. So I want him to come in, and I want him to kind of just be brutal. He's going to be brutal. and funny. He's super funny and brutal, but I want him to look at my makeup. I'm not going to clean anything, so it's going to be totally, and then I want him to tell me what I'm using that's good, bad, and different. I think we're going to go to Sephora or Ulta, something like that. We're going to pick out some stuff for any basic girls out there that just want something like that. And then he's going to do not only a makeup tutorial, he's also going to do a hair thing. And he's got a whole the Instagram, and we're going to do kind of a dual thing on that. So I'm super excited about that and incorporating more people on, and just kind of more of a lifestyle after gray hair. And I don't know, we'll see. So stay on your path. Find your grounding. I don't care what it is, meditation, exercise, yoga, whatever it is that's uniquely to you that can ground you in your values. Look them up, figure out 5 of them, and sit on them. Stand on them is what the kids say. Stand on those values, my loves. Thank you for being with me today. I appreciate you. I thank you so much. I've been gone for a minute, and I appreciate all the people that have left new comments. I will get to them, because I love them and I appreciate your support. Have a great rest of your weekend. Mwah.